talk about what you need to think about when you're going to pin down your digital marketing strategy. Many has experienced marketing being one of those budget posts that just pulls up money. We don't know where it goes, and people don't really trust it if they're not in the field of marketing. If you are in the field of marketing, you might also still be a bit frustrated that your initiatives are not yielding the results that you actually want. And I will show you today and talk a little bit about what you need to think about when you're creating a digital strategy. And this does not have to be a massive advanced thing. It's really a framework. I'm going to talk through a framework that you can use to identify where you're at, what you need to do, and what is the most pressing matters for your company specifically. So it's not one solution fits all, and that's why many marketing initiatives are not necessarily yielding the desired results, because you're trying something that someone else has done, and you don't actually see the whole picture of what it takes to get customers from those initiatives. So let's dive into that. Let me share. So pinning down a digital marketing strategy. First of all, to the basics, why is a digital strategy important in the first place? Now, as I mentioned, many are running activities, singular activities, and siloed activities, as I often call them, where they don't get the results that they really want. When an initiative is planned more than just ad hoc, they will, first of all, just the fact that they are planned, there is some strategy going into that. You have a plan. A plan can fail, but because you have a plan, you have thought through what you want to get done. Planned content is also more relational, so it's not so desperate, it's not chasing. Ad hoc initiatives can often be too pushy, too salesy, not really thinking about the customer that you're trying to reach, more thinking about your business. So planned content is much more relational. It's more cost effective and scalable because it's planned. You can also see it's measurable. You can see what works and what doesn't. So it doesn't mean that just because you have something planned that is perfect, but it allows you the opportunity to revise and refine and make it better. So it is enabling improvements and agility. So when something changes, you can change with it. And planning the content, planning your promotion strategies, planning your conversion just really enhances the customer acquisition and conversion. So that is the one thing. So we need to plan, but now how do we go about this? Here's an overview of what the customer goes through and what you as a business need to focus on. So ad hoc initiatives seldom focuses on the customer side of things, which is really key to success. Because if you don't focus on the customer, focus on what you as a business needs, you're not building those relationships that leads to conversions. You're not creating the trustworthiness that leads to conversions. So you need to have a customer focus, and the only way to be able to do that is by understanding where they're at and adjust your content thereafter. So the customer journey stages consists of realizing that you have a problem or a challenge that you need solved. So that would be a client realizing that they need something that you have at this stage. Then they become aware of you as a supplier for a solution. Then they go into consideration phase. In the consideration phase, they are both considering their need and you as a supplier. So they're considering several things. Then they go to a decision phase. Should I buy or should I not? A retention phase and the loyalty phase where they stay, they can buy again, and they can also become ambassadors for your brand or a voice for your brand to recommend you to others. As a business, in the problem and awareness stage, we need to focus on collecting leads. We need to understand that at this phase, we are collecting leads. We are not trying to create fans. We are not trying to convert clients. That is one of the biggest mistakes that happens, that people put in, say, the offer and close activities at a problem and awareness stage. That doesn't really lead to that great conversion that we want. So focusing on collecting leads through great targeting. So you really need to pin down who are you targeting. And in this, there would typically be workshop or work done, depending on how many people you are, that is around who are we actually targeting, what are their needs, how do they like to be communicated to, what kind of medias do they use to get professional information or personal information, now deciding depending on what you are offering. Then we want to make sure that we attract them. So your digital strategy also consists of a specific plan on how to attract these people. Think of your business as a magnet for people out there looking for. They realize they have a problem. Now you need to attract them to your business. And when you are attracting them, you also need to capture them. So you need to make them part of something that you can work. So like typically they will go into your CRM system, but you want to make sure that you have the opportunity to continue to communicate with them through the other stages. So in the consideration stage, which is a big one, they are considering you as a supplier and they are considering their needs. Don't ignore any of those. So when you as a business now focus on converting clients, you are engaging with them and you are nurturing them. You are talking to their need and you're building trust as a supplier at the same time. Then when they're getting close to a decision phase as well, you need to offer the right thing at the right time. So if you have multiple services, you want to make sure that you offer what they initially showed interest in, not something different, because that can be confusing. People don't like to think too much. So you must be really, really smooth the path from becoming aware of the problem to the purchase process. And to close them, and really need to be simple closing process. Not too many options. Don't offer too many colors and add-ons and all kinds of stuff. Make it easy to close that business. Retention and loyalty is where the added value comes in. This is where you want to focus on creating fans. You want to deliver what you promise. You want to impress by deliver above what they expect. And you want to make sure that your digital strategy includes these elements. How do I impress my client? What am I doing to impress your client? If you don't have anything here, we'll see that might be something you were looking at. And how do I multiply the value of my incoming leads, or the ones that initially started as leads? That can be upsell, it can be repeat sale, it can be referrals to friends and family, and others that might now become leads. The benefit with these leads are they're a lot, what we call, warmer. They're a lot closer to purchasing than like a lead coming from an ad or something like that. So that's how you need to think as a business. And having a plan for this doesn't mean the plan is perfect, but you will have awareness of where your customer's at when you're creating the content for that stage. Here is, just gonna take my picture away so you can see the whole thing. Here is how this is the graphical presentation of this, where we see it's all interconnected. So the collecting lead is connected to converting clients, which is connected to creating fans, which is connected to converting clients and collecting leads again. So if we are missing any stages or any activities along here, chances are that that's where you should start working to improve your marketing. For example, if you have no lead capture, that will break the cycle. and you won't be able to push people over to the nurture and offer and close phase. So you won't be able to get into the conversion phase. So you might be running ads and you've done great targeting, great attract strategies, how you get people to come to your website, beautiful ads, etc. Lots of clicks, but then nothing happens. Do you have your capture in place? And engaging in nurturing, obviously, is that in place? We will go through priority path, the priority path as well, how you can choose what to work on first if there's multiple elements missing. And then you're creating fans, which ties into converting clients in the form that what your existing clients says about you as a business is much more important for someone in that stage than what you say about your own business. It ties into collecting leads because you can get those referrals and you can get reviews, which might lead people to come to your business because it's more attractive. So all of these things are connected. Then I'm going to take each stage by stage, some ideas and tips of what to think about before I go into the how to prioritize it. Do not get overwhelmed. I do often recommend that one automates a lot of these activities, but do not get overwhelmed by the amount of suggestions that you might get. You will decide, and that's why we're going to priority afterwards, what you will start with first. This is where each business becomes unique. Some businesses got some elements right, other businesses got other elements right. You will know what's right for you to work on to make sure that you have all the activities needed along the life cycle. So under collecting leads, you want to understand your target audience. Like I mentioned here, you typically have a workshop internally, or you do this work. Do not ignore it. It's part of your digital strategy to do so. So your target audience, who are they? Who's your ideal customer? So your ideal customer will be the ones that will be easy for you to serve, easy for you to sell to, that is easy for you to deal with as a business. So that's your ideal customer. That means that you spend less resources on getting them to become a client and to maintain them as a client. What are their demographics? Where are they from? Psychographics? What is their online behavior? Lifestyle factors? What are their pain points? What keeps them up at night? And what are their aspirations? All of these things you create a fictive persona. You define them. When we run workshops on that, we like to put pictures in place and really get clients into defining their target audience properly. It's really important to have that in place. And it just helps the rest of the process. It helps with your nurturing because your nurturing is going to be more on point. It helps you to figure out what you're going to do in your nurturing for that sake. Lead magnets, having lead magnets, we call them, because they are attracting your potential clients. That can be free ebooks, it can be free meetings, it can be free content, it can be watching an evergreen webinar on a topic, it can be a lot of different things. Then content and lead capture. So make sure the lead capture is in place. There's an example here on the left-hand side where we have a consulting form, the green form, that automatically takes Bessie here that filled out that form, takes her into the CRM system, sends her an email and invites her to book an appointment, and she does. So that is lead capture, for where the free 30-minute consultation is the lead magnet, and Bessie has been targeted because she is a relevant customer. So that is the process of collecting leads in an example. Then we have converting clients. This is really guiding people. There's a little picture here of a lady with a map. You're guiding people along a path where they are considering and deciding, and they go from lead to becoming a customer. We want to make sure that we build relationships through a multi-channel strategy. What do we mean by that? again, plan where do these people in for your specific target group, where do they search for information, either socially or professionally, depending on your services, and use multi-channel so that you pop up in different ways for these people, so that they're getting email, retargeting in ads on the relative social channels, maybe display ads, just to confirm you as a supplier that you're a good supplier and the need, etc. Offer the right thing at the right time, make it easy to buy. You want to make sure that you have a process for how you want to convert these leads. And that's why we also advise people to have a sales pipeline. Here's an example on the lower left of the picture. Might be a bit small depending on your screen. But here we can see one column is leads, one column is qualifying, and one column is won. So it can be much more advanced than that, with just a simple example. And we have different things happening at the different stages. So as people are captured in the earlier stage, we create a deal in the pipeline, and we can automate certain things that happen in that pipeline. One common thing to automate would be offer or proposal follow-ups, for example. Segmentation, understand where, so now we're into a point where you do need a CRM system to be able to do these things. So segmentation would be to understand who is your lead, where are they coming from, what are they interested in, and customizing the content that you send them based on that. We love email automation and remarketing, mentioned that as an example, as a multi-channel strategy. It can really, really be targeted. There's completely different channels in a way. So email is obviously a written channel. It goes in your mailbox, and we have to make sure we're not spammy. But the same with remarketing. So even though you're just popping up a picture that might be pretty, you don't want to perceive the spam either. So you want to make sure your content is relevant, and you can do that by using segmentation. You want to create validation for the need and build trust for you as a supplier. In saying all of this as well, remember, you can never convince someone to buy something that's not right for them. If you end up being, this is not right for me all the time, your targeting might be a little bit off. So look into that. Under creating fans, it's about delivering, impressing, and multiply. Keep the relationship going. A lot of businesses drop the ball once someone has purchased and forget to add that value that keeps them coming back to you. It can be information, it can be added value, can be specials, can be anything. Active complaints handling. Ask people if they're happy or not. And if they're not happy, deal with it appropriately. And if they are happy, ask for a review and a referral. We also recommend automating this because this is something that people really, really forget. It's quite easy to automate processes around creating fans because they're normally quite small and simple, and you get high impact for low effort. But it's often not done manually in a business. Get those repeat sales, get that loyalty. Example on the lower left here, we have a couple of people that have registered a course, and we automatically send them 50% off the next course. So they had the trust to buy the first course, but now it should be easier for them to buy the next course. So we give them 50% off to do so. And then we get an additional purchase, additional value on that client without having to spend money and effort and time on bringing them from a new lead to a client. Then we have typical automation as a top here example. So when a job enters the pipeline stage job completes, so automation is all about when something happens, then something else happens. Here is a very simple example. When a deal enters job complete, immediately send an email for a Google review. And that can be completely automated. We might here want to have in between if they're happy or not, or you can just automatically do that. In this way, you make sure that you increase the number of Google reviews that you have, which builds your online trust factor. If you have a lot of reviews and your average is good, people trust you. So it really helps a lot. So to the priority path, this is the priority path that we use with our clients when we implement lifecycle marketing with them. First thing that we look at is, do you have any existing list and can we re-engage it? Because that is low-hanging fruit, gives you the fastest results for your money. So it's not really, it's where we start. Then we look at, are you capturing your leads? Because if you're not capturing your leads, we can run as many ads as we just want and have as beautiful conversion processes as we want, but no one goes from the ad to the conversion process. So we have to make sure that that's in order. Then we want to make sure that you have your nurturing process in order. If you don't have it, we make sure that we jump on that at an early stage. Then we look at how you deliver. What can we do within delivery? Again, remember there's some really short, simple stuff that can be put in place here that raises your customer experience from average to high. We want to make sure we also happy customers for referrals and upselling, etc., and reviews. That just boosts your business all over. We look at your purchase, then we look at your purchase process. Is it difficult, or how much are you offering? How does your purchase process look like? Do you have checkouts that no one uses? Is it too many clicks? A lot of different things. This is an element that I highly recommend you get someone else to evaluate for you that is not too much in favor of your business and your ego, because you probably were a big part of creating that purchase process. You won't really have a proper objective view on how it is experienced. And when all of that is in place, then we look at what are we doing to generate new traffic to the website. So the last thing we spend money on is the ads and to attract people to the website, because now all the other things are in place. So that is really the way that you need to prioritize the work with your, once you realize this is where I am, this is what I have in place, that's where the priority path that you want to follow. If you have any questions about this, you are free to contact us. I'm going to stop sharing. So really, when it comes to pinning down your digital strategy, you want to make sure that you have something along every single stage of the customer journey. The activities that you do as a company, we call them lifecycle marketing. We call it the lifecycle marketing framework. And you see that if anything is missing, it doesn't have to be perfect because everything can be improved, but make sure that you have plans for all of those elements. If you have plans for all these 9 elements, you have a great start for your digital strategy.